Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us at We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high. Get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. It is it's Saturday, June 19th, aka Juneteenth, so happy Juneteenth to those of you out there. Sunday, June 20th for those of you across the pond and beyond, and happy Father's Day to you. Again, welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm so glad you guys can join us this evening. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and I hope you guys have had an awesome week. Mine's been very hot and muggy. We had a total heat wave going on here, so it's been insane temperatures all over the place. So many different record temperatures have been broken at this point. If you're listening live right now, you're listening on Spreaker.com. You can also find us on KPNL, which you can find at kpnl-db.com. We're also on Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Tumblr, YouTube, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Deezer, Podcast Addict, as well as Podcast Chaser and Facebook. Tonight I have a treat for all my guys and gals out there. Tonight we will be talking to and getting to know Mr. Bill Hauser, aka Candui, as well as Psychic Chris Garcia. So Bill Hauser, aka Candui, independent paranormal researcher and investigator, was born in Vancouver, BC, Canada, and lives on the West Coast, particularly in the city of Surrey, BC. A well-rounded investigator and researcher using different types of equipment on paranormal investigations in different locations. Paranormal activities are things that he is passionate to do, and he has dedicated and committed himself to ghost hunting for over 20 years now. Yes, he has had his own personal paranormal experiences, but fearfulness did not stop him yet, and it was his key to widen his horizons, discover new things, quest to find real answers, and help others deal with paranormal concerns. Digital, night vision, and full-spectrum video cameras are products of modern technology that makes paranormal investigation and research easier for him. At present, he is focusing his research of paranormal phenomena, asking questions to spirits using the following devices: EVPs, which is electronic voice phenomena, with digital recorder and special featured programs, Spirit Box, Ghost Box, and known as Frank Box, are samples of controversial electronic devices that he uses. This electronic device called ITC, which is Instrumental Transcommunication, is a device used for two-way real-time spirit communications, which gives great results upon asking questions. So for the record, all of his YouTube videos that have been done and posted are filmed in RAW with no alterations. He did networking with other paranormal organizations on current paranormal issues and has been invited to numerous radio programs, including ours, to share information about different techniques on how you should do proper ethics of research in this type of field. And then we have Mr. Psychic Chris Garcia, who is a psychic medium, empath, clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, who also has the ability to see auras and has experience with remote viewing. He has had these God-given gifts since the young age of 5. Chris loves helping people and sensitive children with their gifts as well. He is a tarot card reader and a ghost hunting and paranormal enthusiast. He is also a shaman healer and very into his native roots. Welcome, guys, and thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
You're very welcome, Tessa.
Yes, that's great. I just want to say hello to everybody out there, and I hope you guys have a great Father's Day tomorrow.
And just want to say happy Father's Day to everybody, including Bill, if you're a father. And if you're not, I'll still tell you happy Father's Day. Because one day you will be a father. And y'all can just call me. Somebody called me, one of my friends, that called me a mermaid. A mermaid because Bill was making fun of me. And Tessa said, damn, you must be a fish because I am just in the water and I'm just exhausted. But tonight I'm just enjoying, as always, It's just that just I'm just burned. I probably have like my body just aches, but I'm happy to be on because I mean we're like in the 90s, but it feels like we're in the triple digits because of the humidity, so there's no damn air. Um, it's hot as hell out here. But yeah, I think there's a lot of people either at the park or near a pool or just doing early Happy Father's Day and to everyone out there. And I don't know how it is over there where you're at, Bill. How's the weather over there where you're at?
Oh, in the Metro Vancouver, it's nice and warm. It's about 22 Celsius, a little bit of overcast, but feels a bit muggy too here. But generally, it's not bad. It's fairly comfortable overall.
Wow.
Yes, 31.5 degrees Celsius here in the hot box. And for those of you that don't know, that's 88.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 102, if I must be honest.
Yeah.
Guys, I was telling Tessa that I'll invite her. So if you ever hear Tessa next to me, I'm gonna be like, she's off duty, so don't bother her because she's enjoying the water and drinking at the same time.
Yes.
Right, Tess?
Enjoying a plethora of liquid substances. Pool would be awesome right now. Could you imagine doing a show from a swimming pool? That'd be epic.
Oh my
Whoa.
God. Bill, I'll invite you. We'll be
Yeah. We'll have a big pool party.
Maybe one day we might just do that. But
Bill's all
anyway,
trying not to get his ghost box wet.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Damn it, Chris. Quit splashing Bill.
But if you want to just call Tess a show, and I call Tess, I just say it. I'm like, Tessa's assistant. But anyways, if you just want to go ahead and call and get a lovable and an amazing square box reading from Bill, you can reach us at 970-335-95. Again, 970-335-9597.
Wow. What an amazing, immaculate job that you're doing. Thank you so much, Chris. My lovely assistant.
You very. So, yeah. So, you know what? And I'm gonna tell y'all something, guys. You're gonna get a kick out of this. Maybe one day I might just do that underwater and say no, 970-335-9596 underwater. Imagine that. Trying to say the number underwater.
There'd be a lot of bubbles in that.
Oh, and by the way, hi Elizabeth. I know that you said I was a mermaid, but I might just be. I might just be a mermaid. I might just be half human and half fish.
Or somebody could be like, holy shnikes, is that a California raisin? 'Cause, man, look at that prunage. That boy's been in that pool for 7 hours.
I know, right? They're going to say, what is he on? Because if he's on something, he's on beer, then can you give me some of that too? Because, that was another thing, because I'm going to tell you, y'all going to think this, and this is only one time I'm only going to say this. I don't drink. Okay, I'm just going to let you know that. I don't drink. But over here, my cousin, he told me one time to try, and I hope I don't make y'all hungry. But anyways, there's this beer that I took just a sip of for the first time. I've never drank. I only drank wine, just maybe a sip here and there. But when I tried this beer, it's just picture this: pickle beer, okay, pickles. Now, I've only tried it, and I only tried a sip of it. Yes, and it's good.
I love pickles.
They say that don't ever try it because they say when you try to drink this, some of these beers that I think it's brand new, so I don't know if in every different state might not have it, but I believe they sell them at Walmart. But for the people that are alcoholics, I would say be very careful drinking this beer because the ones that are brand new do kind of have this like you're gonna think, it's not gonna get me drunk, but like
It'll get you
one of my
pickled more way than one.
relatives outside said, exactly. So just be careful with those beers that that you think, this is not gonna get me buzzed. But those are the ones that really have like a surprise kick to where you can drink like a 6 pack and you'll be ooh, all buzzy. So just be very careful. I'm just saying.
Just saying. Sounds interesting. I'll have to check it
But
out.
anyway,
I've never tried anything like that. Like, I've tried micheladas and stuff like that, which is beer with lime and tomato juice and salt and stuff like that in it. Those are really good. But yeah, I've never heard of a pickled beer, so that's interesting. For
yeah,
sure.
and they have that over here in Texas. But Texas is all, yeah, but they always have weird stuff over here in Texas. And
Right?
I don't drink. I'm serious. I don't. I only try for like a little bit, and they said, "Don't drink all of it." I'm like drinking all that because I'm not an alcoholic. But the thing is that I tried it, and just when it went down where my taste buds were, I tasted pickle, and then I was like, "It's this type of beer that once you drink it, you don't expect nothing because you think it's like soda or something."
Mm-hmm.
But I'm being told that the one that you drink is kind of like in your butt because it gives you an unexpected surprise because you're just like feeling kind of tipsy. So yeah,
Yeah. I could see
maybe
that.
one day, maybe one day, guys, we might just do a pool party show with Bill. You just never know. Just be aware, keep a
That'd be cool.
lookout.
We'll have to have a lifeguard on duty to save one of us.
No,
Um,
right?
so as far as COVID's going for everyone, like how's it going in your guys' area with the whole COVID shenanigans?
Go ahead, Bill. You can go first.
Okay, well, they've gone into phase two of restrictions now. We can travel around the province. We couldn't do that not too long ago, just a matter of a few days back. So,
Anything for that matter. One guy that went in there, and the guy was, we had a long line, and the guy goes, get out. You're not wearing a mask. And then the guy made a big deal. He's like, I don't care if you got the COVID shot. In here, you better wear the mask. And I can tell you right now, it makes no sense because I've even heard people have taken like planes to go from here to here. And there's people have just gotten so really violent or just been kind of feisty to where you can go on a plane and if you're not wearing a mask, some people, I guess, that go by either got the COVID or didn't get the shot, they still wear their mask. So I guess people think they're invincible, but even though you got the COVID shot, I would still recommend wearing that mask.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that test, it's just been kind of strange over here. I mean, they haven't really mentioned us, because over there they said up on the eastern state, they're all like 100 COVID. Like a lot of people that are up there have all got the COVID shots. Like more towards Louisiana, Florida, Texas. They say that we're like they want, like they said in the news that they want 70% of the whole damn state to get the COVID shot. But a lot of people just don't get it because
Mm-hmm.
I guess everybody has their own reason. And for me, I've been asked by my own uh that the doctor has to have you got your shot, and I'm like looking at my doctor, and I said, I'm not getting it. And she goes, well, if you change your mind, just let me know. And I just look at her like, I'll think about it. But I people have asked me like, have you got your shot? And I'm like, nope, and I'm not gonna get it. And some of my family has gotten it. I haven't asked them like how they feel, but
Yeah.
according to what I've heard, even a few friends of mine, they say they feel fine. But I mean, I don't know. I
My
really
daughter
don't know
was tripping out
I don't know
last
about
week.
you
She
guys.
was sticking coins to her forehead and stuff, and she's like, doing it to the kids. And then she's like, "Here, mom, you try it." And of course, it's sticking because we're all, sweaty and muggy or whatnot. But there has been videos out there where people that have taken it have coins sticking to different parts of their bodies, no matter how much they shake it off. But here, as soon as the CDC And the WHO said that, it's all good, and as long as you've had your vaccination, you don't have to wear a mask, so on and so forth. Everybody around here not wearing their masks. I still wear mine. I have forgotten it a couple times. But yeah, generally I'll wear it because I'm like, I don't trust what they're saying. Like, how many times have they misled us?
Neither do I.
And I'm still gonna, just wear this to protect myself. And then there was this cruise that happened, and I believe it was Carnival Cruise, and it was all COVID-19 vaccinated people, and they tested everybody that got on. Everyone was negative, and then a couple weeks later, 2 people, and they were actually sharing the same room, both popped positive. So it's pretty interesting. I think if you get the vaccine, it's just like the flu. It doesn't cover everything, but yeah, it's pretty intriguing.
Yeah, and then you know what's funny, man? One thing I've noticed that it's funny that you mentioned that I've had other people where before they were kind of like saying mandatory, so to speak, because people were that they're bribing them about the shot. And one thing that it's weird is that I've heard gatherings, one shot person could be in the same house, and all of them get like say, example, they don't got COVID, except only for one person that got it. That doesn't make sense. How can you be in the same room and say for example, like 10 people? Out of those 10 people, one person got COVID. That doesn't make sense. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. That just I don't know. I just feel that there's a catch to it scientifically, but it's funny that you mentioned that test because I really don't feel comfortable with it. I've had weird visions. Just speaking of that too. Um, I just don't. I don't feel right. And it's funny that you mentioned that because the movie I sent a movie to my friend Elizabeth and some other people. Do y'all remember the movie Disturbing Behavior?
Hmm.
Y'all remember that movie? That's a 1988 movie. Um,
Okay.
I'll send another links during the show, during the commercial, and just what I want you to do is watch it and tell me what you think because a friend of mine, I did a reading on her, and she asked me, she goes, "Chris, I know this is my time's almost up with the reading," and she asked me, she goes, "Do you think people are being controlled, like minded control?" And I said, that's funny you ask. I said, I've never had anybody that I've ever read that has asked me that, Brad. And I said, honestly, on the psychic perspective, I really don't care what anyone says. You're entitled to your own damn opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do feel is that there is some kind of mind control going on because a lot of people have been kind of just real feisty, just fighting for no
I think people are
reason.
just sick of
People
stuff,
get,
They're at the end of their ropes,
yeah,
and they're
I just,
reacting in
yeah,
crazy different ways.
yeah, yeah,
I
and
just
I
fly by
just
the seat of my
cannot believe.
pants. And I'm just
Yeah,
grateful
that's
that
how I
I
do
don't.
homeschool's
it too.
over. Yeah. On that note,
Yeah.
go ahead, Bill.
Well, I just sort
Uh,
of play by the rules the best as possible, but even here we got to still wear masks and social distance and all that stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's going to be around for quite some time, at least in my area. So,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, they still talk about the fourth wave that could still be there, the Delta variant of the COVID-19. So
Yeah.
that's a possibility. So, I mean, they're not telling us the whole truth here about the whole COVID-19 and where it exactly, how it was established and that. Yeah, they know it came from China. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I don't want to pick on China per se, but
Yeah.
there's still a lot of things that are, a lot of questions to be answered for sure. Did it come from a lab and, all
Mm-hmm.
this kind of stuff? So, some
Yeah.
people say it's natural selection and all that stuff, but I mean, who knows? But
It is very
right now, I
interesting.
mean, just play by the rules, don't get yourself too much into hot water. I mean, here they will find you. I mean, no questions asked. So,
Yeah. Well, Bill,
uh,
Mooney was asking, so when you travel from province to province, you don't have to have papers, right? It's just free and open and you can just travel.
far as I know, you can travel. It might be different if you go by air traffic. They may ask some more questions and maybe proof of vaccination shots or whatever. But right now, I'm free to travel throughout the province. I wasn't so about 4 days ago. I mean, we're all sort of isolated in our own health districts. They labeled that as you had to stay in that area. You could only go out if it was an important reason why. But anyway, I mean, we're here right now, and the thing is there's still a lot of unanswered questions, shall I say, about this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, look in the news. I mean, China's got a nuclear power station that's got some problems there, and of course they're denying all that it's a big problem and all that. So I mean, you got that going. So I mean, and there's lots of things going on out there in the news.
Yeah, and between the times that we're on shows together, and man, we really all missed last month having you, because for me, for one, our show is like the favorite show that I do every month, and then Paradox Paranormal Forum. But you send me these different articles and stuff, and we kind of keep each other informed. You more than I, because I've been working out in the fields in the hot, furious sun. But one of the articles you sent me totally touches on what we're talking about as far as where did it come from, so on and so forth. And even Dr. Fauci has been talked to by the Supreme Court. Why did you deny that this even came from China? Why are you saying this is a natural thing that just developed on its own? And, I think he was told to do so, but, we won't know until maybe never, but hopefully in the future. But this article that you sent me was by Neoscope, Global Bickering. China is furious that Americans are considering the lab leak hypothesis and calls for investigations into how the pandemic began are irritating Chinese officials. So Chinese researchers are increasingly frustrated in the recent popularization of the lab leak hypothesis, which, man, that's been going on since the beginning of this. And I've even seen articles where it said 2 people that work there infected their own families, and that's how a lot of the spread happened, as well as the market 3 blocks away.
Wow.
But this hypothesis, which is the notion that the coronavirus may have first infected humans after accidentally escaping from the Wuhan Institution of Virology. Most recently, a list of 18 American, Canadian, and European researchers published a letter in the journal Science calling for another investigation into the origins of the coronavirus and arguing that past probes fell short. For instance, the letter argues that the World Health Organization investigation into China glossed over the possibility of a lab accident and dismissed it as extremely unlikely without thoroughly debunking it, a criticism that even the head of the WHO corroborated earlier this year. The new letter, though, has Chinese officials and researchers furious over what they see as an unfair attack and a baseless accusation, according to the U.S. News and World Report, and now some of those researchers are apparently planning a rebuttal. We must take hypotheses about both natural and laboratory spillovers seriously until we have sufficient data, reads the letter. A proper investigation should be transparent, objective, and data-driven, inclusive of broad expertise, subject to independent oversight and responsibility, managed to minimize the impacts of conflicts and interests. Joe Biden also recently called on the U.S. intelligence agencies to investigate the coronavirus origins, further irritating Chinese officials. It's ridiculous to ask intelligence units to do the work that should be done by scientists, former Chinese Centers of Disease Control led epidemiologist Zhang Wang told the government-owned news outlet The Global Times, but determining how the pandemic began goes beyond conspiratorial thinking or political jabs. Whether or not the lab leak hypothesis ends up being remotely accurate, understanding where the coronavirus came from would give experts and policymakers another tool to help them prepare for, mitigate, and even prevent the next major pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. And you know what's weird? I know we're in college, but I was gonna ask you though. But maybe Tessa can ask me. But before, there was one question I was thinking about. Um, I would like to ask her about because I got a question. But then there's something else, and I don't know if you could touch it without being um having censorship. Being called censorship. What is your thoughts on how to ask Spirit Box about that intro about um, Joe Biden meeting the Russian president? I don't know if there's a way that you can do it because I do feel that there's something, and I felt it when I saw them having
What,
a
the
shook hands
recent
and they had
meeting that
yes,
they had?
yes, and I
The world,
yes, and I
yeah.
did feel something even though they were peaceful. They said that they had nothing going on, but when
An angry married couple
yeah.
when they were sitting there before they
Yeah,
both with
and
their
I
arms and their
that's what I was
legs
gonna say. It was so
crossed.
weird because
Well, it
when
was
I saw
strictly
it,
posturing, no question about it.
yeah,
Right?
I
and I
mean,
did feel like tension. I can tell you that I felt a lot of tension.
Go
yeah.
ahead, Bill.
Well, no matter how you look at it, would you trust Russia? Russia? I sure
Mm-mm.
wouldn't. Yeah, they have done some good things in the past, but they've done a lot of bad too. But the thing is, are they willing to be more diplomatic with the new administration? That's what it really comes down to. And of course, President Biden talked about a lot of hacking problems and told them
Yeah,
to ease up on that. And of course, they deny it and everything.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Russia's no saint; it's no angel.
yeah, exactly, and we know that because
True
Nor
that.
is China, nor is Iran, nor is
yeah,
North Korea, and any of these other wacky states out there. So, or
yeah,
countries. But
and it was weird because I don't know, but what I was gonna say though is that there a way that you can do Spirit Box on that?
oh
Maybe,
yeah,
or
well
maybe somebody
I
else.
can think
You know,
about that in a little while and see how I can word that.
yeah,
I think we have to focus a lot on President Biden and see where that takes us as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm curious.
Yeah.
And then it was weird because I got a question, and I know Elizabeth and other people that are listening. I want you to ask Spirit Box, and I need some. I've heard validation from different people. Tessa doesn't know anything about this.
I see how it is, little brother.
Why? I'll tell you in a minute, Tess. You're gonna know. What I want to ask you is why have I been wanting to order 50 t-shirts? Is there something bigger coming with the bigger t-shirts? So can you ask in a way of what is the whole purpose for a bigger t-shirt? I've heard other people, and
Like
I'm
bigger
not gonna tell you what they
sizes?
said. Oh no, I'm talking about 50 t-shirts. I don't
What,
Okay.
like
know. I'm
bigger
about to order.
orders? Bigger
Yeah.
orders?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yes, and I want to know why do I feel drawn to the 50 t-shirts? Is there something like a bigger event coming? I don't know if the spirits will say anything, but can you do that for
Well,
me?
Chris, what I would look at is, if they probably want you to buy an allotment of a minimum order of 50, is that correct?
No, it's because I've been feeling like I needed to
Yeah.
order, and I want to know why. What am I feeling? I don't know if the
Well,
spirits will tell you
well, do you
or
have
that
any
they.
plans of going to conferences or,
Yes,
little events?
yes,
Yes.
and I wanna
Yeah.
know if they can give you a date for a year or a month. I don't know if spirits have ever done that before
Yeah.
on your spirit box, but I'm just
Yeah.
curious. Like, so I don't know if you don't mind.
Well, we
If
can. Okay. Just remind me when we come to that. I would look at, you're going to buy T-shirts. Yeah, they probably want you to buy an allotment of whatever a minimum order of so many T-shirts. That's a good thing if you're going to a conference. You're not going to buy 50 T-shirts and not
no,
be able to sell
exactly.
them
No,
or
yeah,
whatever. You end up
yeah,
giving them away. So the thing is you want to, put that in perspective. So what you can afford and, what you think is necessary at these conferences. It's like brochures. You buy X amount of brochures, right? So you
Oh.
never
yeah,
actually give them all away, but the thing is you got X amount, so it carries you to the next event or whatever. So
yeah. And I'm just curious with what this bird box might say, because I do feel like everybody keeps seeing something bigger for me. I mean, of course, I can't move myself.
Yeah,
But
we'll
everybody
work on that. So, yeah.
I just got a post on my phone from Twitter, and it was from the First Lady, Jill Biden, and they just made a statement that their German Shepherd Champ passed away at their home today. He was 13 years old. I heard that there was some issues with him biting people at the White House. I don't know if he had like some doggy Alzheimer's going on or whatever, but poor little fella. It's so hard when you lose a little fur baby.
Oh yeah, even considering that he's the president. I mean, we're all attached to animals, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, true.
Yeah, there's a statement here. A statement by the President and the First Lady on the passing of their beloved German Shepherd Champ. Our hearts are heavy today as we let you all know that our beloved German Shepherd Champ passed away peacefully at our home. He was our constant, cherished companion during the last 13 years and was adored by the entire Biden family. Even as Champ's strength waned in his last months, when they came into a room, he would immediately pull himself up, his tail always wagged, and his he would nuzzle them for an ear scratch or a belly rub. Wherever we were, he wanted to be, and everything was instantly better when he was next to us. He loved nothing more than curling up at our feet in front of the fire at the end of the day, joining us as a comforting presence in meetings or sunning himself in the White House garden. In his younger days, he was happiest chasing golf balls in the front lawn of the Naval Observatory or racing to catch our grandchildren as they ran around our backyard in Delaware. In our most joyful moments and in our most grief-stricken days, he was there with us, sensitive to our every unspoken feeling and emotion. We love our sweet, good boy, and will miss him always. Pets are awesome. They do help, I think, with emotional states and such. It's good to have companions.
Definitely. Yeah, it's nice. I remember when I was a kid, we had a few dogs and that, so it was nice, and a few cats. So, yeah, pets are very important, and in a home in general, especially if you have a family and that. So
I was reading here, Bill, it says most labs in Canada are not fully able to detect the Delta COVID-19 variant. And that's what experts are saying. I wonder what that's about, why it's so hard to catch it.
Yeah, I read that. I think I sent that to you. I think maybe that might be partly their equipment and the nature of this type of illness. So I think that's where that's kind of going, is just the capabilities of their equipment.
Yeah, this one says, according to them, which is probably these different labs and people that are hierarchies in this arena, a majority of public health labs are using more conventional PCR tests that are limited due to them being only able to look at one or two specific mutations, while these tests work well for variants of concern like alpha B, 0.1, 0.1, 0.7. Those with 3 or more mutations, like the Delta variant, can't be distinguished.
Yeah. Well, I think in the short term, they'll probably send that down to the United States for, if they have suspecting the Delta virus, or I should say the Delta variant. So, yeah. Again, I believe that's all to do with the capabilities of the equipment in the labs. They're just not suited for that type of testing. Yeah,
and it was saying here, like, the variants of tests, like, the tests are not deep enough. They're not testing for certain things that are markers for this. So hopefully in the future somebody will come out with a test that can help with that. One of the articles that you sent me that really freaked me out, because I've been worried about this in years past, is the whole brain-eating amoeba that's generally in ponds or still water places. It's popping up. I guess it's going to be a really, really big thing this year. So if anybody decides to go swimming, make sure you go to like fresh running water or something, because I don't know, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Only 2 people I think have survived through this
that's
thing.
very, very scary. I mean, amoeba in tropical countries is very nasty. It's a very nasty pathogen. So the thing is you have these different variants of illness floating around there now all over. So I think, the so-called global warming doesn't help it any. It probably aggravates the situation even more that they're able to multiply and spread faster. Yeah, my cousin, she got amoeba when she was in the West Indies many, many years ago. Maybe not that particular strain of amoeba, but when she came back to Canada, she had to be isolated for, at least a month or so more and go through lots of tests before being released. That was back then. But the thing is amoeba there was all over the place, at least that strain of it in that part of the world. And the locals, they got a tolerance to it. So it was in the soil, it was in the water. I mean, it was all over the place. So, yeah. So that's the thing. That's why, when I read that, it really caught my attention.
Yeah, because this has been around for a while, and a lot of people can swim in the same area, and it doesn't affect everyone. Sometimes it goes up your nose, or you could swallow some water, or I've even heard about it going through your ears, and, basically goes directly to the brain. And this article that you sent is pretty short, so I'm going to read it really quick just so everyone else can hear it. It says, summer water in lakes and rivers may contain dangerous amoeba. Summers in Texoma were made for splashing in the water. If your water fund finds you in area lakes and rivers, the City of Wichita Falls Public Works Department and the Wichita Falls, Wichita County Public Health District want you to be aware of the risk of, Naegleria fowleri, a microscopic bacteria that may be in the water. I know, we hear this every year, but it's worth repeating, and it's something to keep in mind as we head to the lakes this summer. Naegleria fowleri is found in all natural bodies of water like those rivers, lakes, and ponds that we and our kids love to splash around in. The amoeba can affect children and young adults by being forcibly injected into their sinus cavity. Once in the sinus, it can cause primary amoebic meningitis. While these infections are possible, they are also rare, as the only way for infection to take place is for the amoeba to enter through the nose. Some easy ways to avoid infection are to teach your children to hold their nose or use nose clips when playing in rivers and lakes, especially when jet skiing, jumping, or diving. It's also wise to never play in warm, muddy, stagnant water. You should contact your healthcare provider immediately if your child experiences a headache, fever, nausea, or vomiting, a stiff neck, loss of balance, disorientation, hallucinations, or seizures within a couple days of swimming in a natural body of water. This amoeba does not live in swimming pools or tubs that are properly maintained, cleaned, and treated with chlorine and filtration. Naegleria fowleri, the potential for primary amoebic meningitis is very rare, but something to be aware of as you enjoy your summer in area lakes. So scary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, any waterborne illness, it's always potentially hazardous. So, no matter what. So, I know here there's some parasites in the water that you can pick up that are, somewhat cause discomfort in the digestive tract. You swallow it or whatever, or however it's consumed when you are swimming. So, the thing is it's always good to be aware of all these little things. It's not like, many, many years ago going out in the water hole and swimming and not having any problems, but things are changing with global warming. So the thing is a lot of these pathogens are really sprouting up in different areas and thriving.
It's very interesting and scary indeed. And We know that Chris is safe because he's been in a pool and not a fresh body of water today.
Well, that's good.
Okay, Tessa, I know you're hungover. You know, guys, like I said, you're gonna remember Tessa's gonna be underwater one day, so just don't mind her when she goes, no, no, zero. She's gonna be saying the number like that, like the number. Can you try to pretend like you're underwater, Tessa? Say the number. You know how like when you're underwater and you say the number. Can you do that?
Did you get
I
that?
like it too when she does it. She imitates Donald Trump very good too. How do you do Tessa? And he says build the wall. The
What?
way he,
We're gonna make the
he
Americans
says
pay for
build
the wall. They're gonna pay for it.
She does it so well. She's very talented. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I ain't waiting for no paychecks on that one. So, we've all been waiting for disclosure again. Supposedly the government's going to come out and there's going to be disclosure, and I'm just waiting for papers and stuff with everything blacked out to come. But there's been several articles that you shared as well, as far as the U.S. government hiding anti-gravity fleet from reverse, alien technology, and also another one that was talking about an anti-gravity craft that I believe it was in the 1940s or 50s that they came up with from
Well,
reverse
actually, that
engineering.
one worked on electromagnetics, if
Okay.
I'm correct. Yeah, it was actually a video, and it featured, it was a demonstration of this. Looked pretty cool, actually, how this one-man little aerial vehicle could float around in the sky. I don't know, about maybe 25, 30 feet up in the air, and move around pretty good. Could zip around. So, but that's electromagnetics. So, if you can harness the electromagnetic energy, that's pretty amazing what could happen.
Wow.
You think of the trains in Japan, the bullet trains and stuff like that, how fast they go. It's all on electromagnetic principles.
That's pretty intriguing.
Yeah, so if you harness that, it's amazing what could happen. So, yeah.
Wow.
Another one, it's actually a military application, but if you use the rail gun, that's propels an object like a projectile out by electromagnetics and goes at hypersonic speeds, basically. And that's pretty impressive how they've harnessed that energy of the electromagnetic spectrum.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. You know what I was gonna ask you? And all this stuff about the eclipse and the retrograde. I had talked to different other people, and a lot of people. Well, it actually just happened. I think maybe about a week ago. I didn't have any visions. Maybe people and where retrograde that a lot of energy and it makes it just kind of wonky. I have talked to other people and they have said that I feel like they're out of place. The energy did float around with, which is validated because I did say this on a different show that people were gonna start having signal problems, which I did one. And on one show, I didn't get to do a show because I didn't have service for 8 hours. And it was going to manipulate electronics, which that can happen. And it's also kind of with the retrograde and the eclipse, there was something that kind of just felt so off. I can't put my what it was. It's sad that it kind of like it's a that people that are very sensitive. And I actually did something. I'm not joking. I actually one day I said, you know what, I'm not gonna have this.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're really cutting out there, Chris. You may want to change your headset there. I don't know. It's really bad all of a sudden. I can barely understand what you're saying.
So what I did outside, started, yeah, sorry, you know, things, put like prayers, and I did just surround myself with light, and now I'm getting my visions back, like my psychic visions. But I do feel the eclipse and the retrograde did mess with certain people. I don't know how you felt, about this kid.
Well,
Eclipse or the
retrograde.
retrograde
Yeah.
affect you?
Well, lots of talk about retrograde. So, yeah, I could make you definitely have a bad day. But I mean, really, anything from the cosmic energy out there coming in, especially solar storms, that could be a nightmare for us now with us in the digital world with electronics and stuff. The carroting effect that happened in the late 1800s was just, for that time was pretty bad. So imagine now. I mean, go back to 1998 in Quebec. They lost most of their power for at least 2 or 3 days because of a solar storm. So, yeah, these are always threats out there. They overwhelm the power grids and that. So, yeah, it's just imagine being up in the space station with that coming in. Yeah, I know they're shielded, but I mean, how good is their shielding? That's the question. So,
Exactly.
From cosmic radiation. So, yeah. Yeah, I would think the solar storms are going to be more of a threat than the retrogrades. Well, they can make you have a bad day too, but that's how I feel about it. It's the solar storms that apparently we're in that cycle that we're going to get some pretty nasty doozy ones coming our way. So we've been very fortunate. We've missed a lot of it. A lot of those charged particles have moved onwards, and avoiding the Earth directly on. So, but one day it's going to hit us and send us back into the Stone Age.
Mm-hmm. It's going to fry all of our electronics.
Yeah,
most of our cars.
Yeah, we're going to have to do the SOS.
Yeah, I'll have to be doing smoke signals from where I am.
I actually have a pile in my front yard from when I cleaned my front yard, and I built it for, roasting s'mores and such, but we have to kind of dig out a hole, have some sort of barrier around it before we burn it, even though it's still going to be sticking out of it, whatever. But yeah, I got my stack of sticks ready to burn, and my rug ready to put out some messages there with my smoke signals.
Yeah, well, it's good to be prepared, so, it's good. You're a prepper there, Tessa.
Right?
Yeah. And it's scary because, when you see all this stuff, I do feel that, with manipulation, it really is going to screw up a lot of...
Well, look, we use our credit cards and, all forms of digital currency now, and banking. Most people do banking online, and imagine
Saving
when the
trees.
internet goes down. I mean, you're lost.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and for the kids, too, all the kids that play all those games, some of the games do have connect with Wi-Fi, so all these kids are guessing. I don't think they're going to take, the Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah, I really don't hear from my kids these days unless they're hungry or if the Wi-Fi has gone out. Then I really hear from my kids.
Thank you, Tessa. You just validated me again. So that just validates that,
it's almost become an essential for everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel that they're going to have a hard time when we don't have service, because when we grew up, I remember when I first...
Chris, you watch your filthy mouth.
I don't know when I had my first telephone, but the thing is that, we had to play outside. We didn't have all this technology, and these Xbox, and, Wi-Fi, hotspot. We didn't have all that crap, so...
Yeah, it was play outside till right before the sun goes down and the street lights pop on. You better have your butt home by then.
Yeah, pretty well, much the same.
Yeah, that's why I say that all these kids they take the electronics for granted because once the service goes out and say you're 10 hours without Wi-Fi or 10 hours without internet, how are we going to communicate if there's a disaster? The only thing you're going to have, and this is what I see, and it's funny that you said that the old days with the cave. You know what I see? I think the only thing that might work, that if we go back to the Stone days, is the radio with buying batteries. That's going to be our way of communication, is through
Oh, like
the
the ham
radio. As
radio
far
and
as
stuff?
TVs go, yeah, exactly, with the radio. But as far as our phones or smart TVs, anything that has smart chip or whatever, it can not even Alexis will work. But I do feel that the only way we're gonna have communication is through the damn radio, and that's scary, because if they take even the news out, because a lot of us kind of go back to the old days where we have the antenna, that's just not even gonna work. So think about it. The only thing we're gonna have is damn radio. So everybody just better store up and get your radio and get some batteries because if one day we don't have power, it's gonna go to where we're gonna be out for a very long time. And I would not be surprised if we don't have no electricity, no Wi-Fi, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We would
So
think that it would be Russian.
as far as
People in
batteries and
other
stuff go,
countries.
as long as they're not like plugged into something, they'd be okay if there was a electric sort of
Exactly.
frying going on,
Well,
right?
pulse. It's like
Yeah.
almost a pulse wave coming
Mhm.
with all that charged particles. So, well, I mean, some shielding wouldn't hurt. Have
Oh,
your
there are
battery somewhat
boxes.
shielded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's boxes that you could put your stuff into that protects it
Initially,
from
I think the radio wouldn't work initially at the time of the
Mhm.
solar storm, but a few days after, it probably then things would calm down. That it could work. As long as where that's being broadcast, they have backup power or whatever.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. But and honestly, Bill, I don't think if we don't have electricity, for any power, I absolutely say psychically, I don't feel like anybody's ready for that. We take everything for granted.
Yeah, that's right.
And I just think, and I'm including myself because I'm so used to having.
Unless you have
my phone.
CenturyLink, then you're just like expecting your internet to fail. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It is scary because even for the people that are in the other countries, they're so used to all this electronic shit, that one day I hope to God that we don't live to see it. But
Something, Chris, you just mentioned something very interesting. People in other countries. Well, those people that live out in the back areas, life will still very much the same because they don't really rely on a lot of technological gadgets, besides maybe a radio or something like that to get news. So, yeah, I mean, life will be very much similar. It's the people in the cities that are going to be affected.
yeah.
Well, on that note, you guys, we do have to go to our first musical break. On this break, we have King Cinnamon from Biafra, Nigeria, with Ale Imo Ederella. Then we have Hosni Bronx, who's originally from Jamaica, but also hails from the Bronx of New York, with Dance as a Lion. And he also has some original members from Bob Marley and the Wailers in his group. Then we have King Cinnamon again with Fantastic. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this musical break.
We stop on speed.
Ka anyị kelee Chineke makwa n'ala Imo bụ ndị njem ọnụ. Ka anyị kelee onye nwe ụwa ịmakwa n'ala Imo bụ ndị njem ọnụ. Imo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo State, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo State, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo. Democracy Merielo, Ndime Merielo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime derelo, Alimo State, Alime derelo, Alime derelo, democracy merelo, Ndime merelo, Emeka marama, making head ya, Ebere marama, Obana marama, Yes lady marama, Her Excellency, Emeka head ya hamma, Emeka head ya hamma, Omenka unanya need ya hamma, Omenka unanya wa, Emeka make him modima, Emeka make him modima, Emeka put down no boy, oh yeah, wa wulenu, Emeka put down no boy, o come adima, we me wen poso, Emeka make him modima, Emeka make him modima, ndem jejemba, jejemba, ndem jemano, deputy governor must get chilike, Gerard Ronna, Karaka, Wokoma Dima, Warabo, deputy governor will deregima, Alukuta deregima, Alima State deregima, Ala Nigeria Maragima, Onye Jemano, Stanley Wamuche Karaka, Stanley Onye Babamba, President Good Life Foundation, Shirike. President General, Senate Group of Companies, President General, Financial Matter Karaka, Alowere Diregima, Alambise Diregima, Alimo State Diregima, Ala Nigeria Maragima, Ono Jemano, Franklin Nage Shiriko, Meme Arabido Hotels, ABC Transport Karaka, Alowere Diregima, Alambise Diregima, Alimo State Diregima, Ala Nigeria Maragima, Uchonya go chande, Honorable Mokoma Dima, Onye Horo Nyageleni Yao, Mawugi, Ginando Tugio, Mawunule, Mjigari Jinala, Imo State, Mawugi, Ginando Tugio, Mawunule, Minigalizonala, Imo State, Alowere Diregima, Alowere Diregima, Alimo State Diregima, Ala Nigeria Maragima, the German, Orange Drugs Limited, Jisa Anthony Ifani Chukun to business and na Ishirike, Ikenga di Chele, pride of his people, most outstanding one, Okoma Marama, Iborabo, Alowere Diregima, Alijato Diregima, Alimo State Diregima, Ala Nigeria Maragima, Honorable Jobagu Shirike, Honorable Bina Shirike, Jere Labosa Shirike, Kochukwa Kereke Shirike, Okahube Shirike, Intina Beninati Shirike, Onyamana Construction, Okoma Dema Ikaraka, Onya Shibole Heborani, Detemu Imarama, Okoma Jemba, Okoma Dema Ikaraka, Wiz Popule, Ibo Felamo, Onyamana Pito, Akana Kompa, Ikaraka, Eziwa Mama, Mr. Ludiriwa, Okome Jemba, CEO Lisa Ventures, Ikaraka, Democracy Merielo, Ndime Merielo. Democracy Merielo, Ndime Merielo, Alime Derelo, Alime Derelo. Thank God I'm from Imo State. Emeka has come to rejuvenate. Imo State, make you jubilate, make you celebrate. Emeka Shikwen be say, this one no be say them say. Emeka has come to rejuvenate. Imo State, celebrate, make you jubilate. Ala mekele His Excellency Achikudenwa, mekele kwa His Excellency Dr. Hakim. Kemaka Right Honorable BDK, mekele kwa Right Honorable Jones Oyereri. Ala mekele Senator Onyebuchi Mr. Empowerment. Mekele kwa Right Honorable Emeka Chinedu. Umo mimo lowali bia mezie na limo. Alima de la Ma.
Cliffito. We swap on the beat.
She like my water bam bam. King Cinnamon. Oh shit, baddest. Take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's ball, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's ball, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Put your brother, baby, gather something. Come on closer, baby, gather 19. I know you better, but I am the king. Your backside bigger than Bombay. Baby girl, broncotum. I like the way you wind your broncotum. Baby girl, broncotum. I like the way you wind your broncotum. Jamaica, Ghana, shout out to the ladies in Asia, Nigeria, South Africa. Say me love you. Please me, baby. Yeah. Turn up from you. Take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's go, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's go, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Give me love. Me want you, me love you. Give me love. Oh, give me love. Hey, please me, baby. Oh. Yeah, turn up from you. Yeah, take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's ball, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Shake your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's ball, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. King Cinnamon. You know what I'm saying?
We swap on the mix. Lift it all.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining us tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we are joined by Mr. Bill Hauser and his Ghost Box live. So if you guys have any questions for the Ghost Box, please feel free to call 970-335-9596. That's 970-335-9596. We're also joined by Psychic Garcia, and we have a caller on the line, Mr. Wayne Fisher. Welcome back, fellas.
Yes.
That's great to be back.
And I don't know, do we still have her? But it shows he's muted. It's crazy. I had to open it up before we break, and now it won't open up. I'm like, I don't know what the frick is on this. It's about 17th, so once I get it pulled up, I'll let you guys know. But Christopher, do you have a question?
Yes. I'm going to communicate with my yesterday. I would like to know what they have to say.
Okay, well, where?
Come up.
Oh, I have Fisher here. He wants to know is the answer there, but they would like to give him a His ancestors. What would you like to tell Christopher Fisher? Christopher. Have some advice for him? What do you know him? Right path in life? Do you have any advice for him, maybe? Yes. What would you like to tell Christopher? Do you have anything that you would like to tell him right now? Anything you'd like to say to me, Christopher? What would you like to... You're happy it's going a direction and do you have some more special visit? A message. Can you tell us? You can listen right now, so you can see what you need to say. Did you get a name from one of the ancestors? Is that possible? Who else is there? Do you have a message for Christopher? Be a distant relative? Okay, well, we thank you for communicating. Goodbye. Okay. That was very interesting.
It was very clear, just very different.
Yeah, I've been very from show to show, and I guess that's all to do with the radio and the Andy's beat it.
Well, I did play out.
Yeah, well, obviously there's lots that's coming through, and I think I heard some French in there, too, because I always encourage them just for you as well.
It was quite a bit this time.
Yeah.
I had local slang to it, too.
I recognize that, but
Yes.
yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I got Samantha Boy. I'm not in. I'm done. Phoenix. Hello. Yes, a treasure. Angry. I will pray for you. He. I ain't there. Jump. Something French. I don't know what it said. It was in French. ER. French again. I'm doing atheist. Not there. Or he's not there. Only he. Then I heard French again. Sat the crowd. 1-800. I'm here. I'm not either. Hey, idiot. Fuck. Oh, it was we back squirrel pay boy. I like the ocean. And he said, God, it's little.
Interesting.
Sample heard, big room, see enough, friends with mama, get 100-something police over outside, and 7. Raven heard, flip, mama, camera, today, medication, them, yeah, this is you, great, Christopher, he gets the usual sleep. Lynn said the only friend is the kissing. What about you guys?
Because I just didn't understand any of that, because they were talking more a different language, so I had because it was having trying to switch and meet them on her, they contacted me, so I was
It's a low like Bulgarian, the French back of Italian.
Okay, I thank Christopher for the validation because I did hear Italian just didn't know what they said, but I know that it was a different language, so thanks for the validation on that. I didn't get what they said. I knew you stood, but I didn't understand what they were telling.
Yes, well, dialect is not taught here in the United States.
Okay. Perfect sense. Perfect.
Wow, it's really clear, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can definitely hear the French and so on with the other languages. So, it's in the English. It was just
Hey.
it's hard for them to communicate. I think they seem to dominate there.
Like the places back home where the start the show done.
Well, the two were addressed mainly, so it's good that we figured to communicate. They did, so yeah, it was good.
Last time it was that was threatening me.
Well, there's Charles there, Chris. Yeah, you get other certs and things for them to do these ones. Yeah, it's happened.
Well, can't look that is made as I'm to, so.
Yeah, well, you always say you don't come through the ghost, so it's surprising that for even touch, so you never know what comes.
Probably start speeding up the Scott Caddy where you specific place.
Yeah, well, we're in Europe there and so on, so with the people with that dialect, so yeah, they definitely are so it was. Yeah.
Very interesting. You never know, what you're getting. You hear about this already. More between you, so it's different, the same specifically, but it's technically more open to what you get, and this person whatever medium or technique might be up, and they might even pick up more, so you never know what's going to go to your route, to what you want in your life, depending on what you're doing as roads, they see it and they'll wait so.
Yeah, Ruben, I'm my friend, you can draw.
Yeah. That's right. You gotta stand your ground and get and that's when they'll start feeding up your share. Kind
of science to back me up, tell them to buzz off. So people don't want to help.
Good to home and how do you go about doing that work?
A question for you. Ask to see if they're shoulder test assistant. So they can know precautions. Get box person's meters and down or precautions. What would you do or you go on to do? So you come through the door and
for more or less the nations and be less fun because it's a lot for 5 items. Things the radio different, the brand are different. The social for occasion to use and so on. So here we are to indicate with spirits of Europe style. So, yeah, mostly I can call it that. So it's not always works out that way for some people, but it does seem to work. I do. So yeah, I have to kind of clear my mind of personal, the everyday life kind of clear to others with that helps. For me, anyway, little hang-ups of the daily ups and downs, and that I have to put that all aside.
Okay, makes sense. I like that for the people that that don't know.
Anybody from Ghost Box is like everybody. So it's not concerned. It reads old and sensible. Same time, it's microphone to the world. They can that way, and supposing me to write and convey information.
And to make that,
yeah.
I mean, that. I feel like you bring some people that first. Even if you have fear in this perspective as a psychic medium, if you fear box, I would. You're afraid. Just don't go into it. Just respect. If you're talking to a person, everyone that you have to respect you as much as you respect them. If they do have your you just can respect the dead. Period.
It's very important.
That's very important. And I would be talking, in some respect, like you're talking to us on show, to the people that. You're trying to just be very careful. Just take it. Anything else, like you're talking on the phone, it's just that you're talking to a slow.
Yeah, some people, you can push them a little bit on questions. Do agreements where you balance. I just don't do the style I like to do. I like to be more methodical in my questions and work with them in a respectful way. So it's relation to a location, and to that location. There's a spirit that hang around. You see, they sort of notice that when I turn on the ghost, more than willing to communicate with me. So, when you get really important.
Yeah, and that is also if that's for my sense. I'm just saying, would be go and say, what hurt you? Just raise yourself on the question. You got to think before you. This was something we're going to keep keep closer. They in the way where sometimes so bad answers to it. Clear news that the person
using auction, and I always really just don't do that for trouble if you.
Yeah, that's how I see it. It's just like feedback because I can say this many times. You can't see what you can't find. So
that's right.
If you can do that, I like to bring interviews. great. I don't have to say anything else. You because you, but you can. So on that, just leave it that. I don't have to say anything. Period.
Exactly. I 100% second that.
So for as like a breakup goes or not, what I'm thinking me is just brings a different, to you because of course, for some about you, then the psychic aspect. So it's a thing.
Oh yeah, we can Chris, the nice thing about on here is you can sense certain information that maybe is not coming through or whatever, and you can have some extra thoughts and motivations for sessions. I like medium box sessions. I find very helpful.
It helps to pick a lot for me. It makes me think that it's not easy, So I don't know about Bill isn't, but I get tired of readings. It's a charge, but it's not easy.
Yeah, I have that.
Because we have for tap will shine, and that's where you get that you shine.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I do session is always some session I actually feel the energy of spirits in the room here when I'm broadcasting. And yes, a lot of times that's working in, but sometimes get times are a little bit after doing this. But most time it's pretty don't have that. Sometimes it's on the time of full moon or something. The can really be intense.
That's just why you had to ask because people that don't be able to just alone.
So we had a call up and really trying. Yeah, from another mother.
I love you as always.
We had a caller from, it was actually Alberta. I decided this number. I'm going to say her, I just feel like it's her for some reason. Bring this number real quick to the conversation, and hopefully we can.
I can call in.
We'll have for Foster some so we did a recording and luckily through another date, and it took, I swear to God, a half. So lucky I had 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I only had an update. And I don't have to deal with sight, which means I'm up, right?
Yeah, it's downfalls for public times. No, not at all. Been time for there's a bit of time.
Yeah, like computer installation. So it's really awesome. Why? What was I driving?
Such a community. I mean, so that try to call again, and hopefully it works. This is insane. Blame because it's a this.
Yeah, that's a problem question. So are you able to make established contact with caller, Tessa?
I'm trying to. My goodness. My parents and my grand always said, "Don't fix it." So I leave stuff on. It works perfectly sometimes, and other times it's just a freaking nightmare. I can see it pop up. I can't go on it, but I don't know. It's just frustrating.
Yeah. What is it? Let the number comes in pattern.
Yeah.
And it's not doing. Wow. That's the last one thing weird because tells me there's a lot of things and I like for her to broadcast. I mean, you could do it in like the I'm Chris, some people or the little how I actually do the tab and the computer electronics you have they're just requiring and the effect of the what you're doing. It's totally nice. It's hard.
I'm trying to get this to work. Goodness. That's so frustrating.
Maybe we should call him the Bill.
Effect.
You never know.
Right.
Wait.
Can do effect.
The Hauser effect and then it's effect.
Double whammy with all this.
I know, right? Good.
Oh my gosh. Handle this. This is insane. Cracking for that again. I don't know if it's me or anybody's.
Yeah, having a few technical issues.
You're on beating. I'm like this. I like this. Oh my goodness, it reminds me of it. This is everything what's happening right now. Alright, just let's put our energy together and say this work. So I know you got thing and have you had any back issues with
Really, much the same as before, because, as wires were to get around the house there, but it's been pretty good, so I can't complain the service so far for the upgrade. It was just a rocky time of the race. It took longer there.
Just hear like that orc sound.
Yeah, a little while ago, I come across my desk. We had the camera off.
Oh, wow.
It's not
Yeah, it does. It's really happening. I scared.
Yeah, they say. So, I didn't hear the at my end thing like that. But these were Skype EPs are weird now, so it's definitely Skype.
Yes, it's different for us at the same time. 3 different tones with a tone.
Like,
at the same time, different keys. Just real weird.
really.
Bill, you.
Me?
It was a good.
So Jake, sir.
I know that.
Wait.
A little belching there. Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah, okay. I apologize.
Why is that going to bother? That's strange.
I don't know, and I'm gonna try right now. I think so that I'll go through Rosie instead of number. For some apparent reason, this number won't work. I just Rosie. These for if I'm do you guys are talking.
And, I think, and but sometimes you can help, sometimes there's something, sometimes doing something, all that, but just you're just going to be somebody. I want to say technical, but I have been trying out for all now, or never been keep having.
Yeah, it happened, yeah.
I heard that for once, like they can't get it.
It's been important.
Frustrating.
And I was going to ask the people, but I also for one that have to choose, is there a way to contact you, Bill? I know we're going to say that, but for the people that know.
Well, they can contact me through the internet, through Skype and that. So, having a lot of sessions because I've gotten quite tired. I've had quite so many of them during the pandemic. I'm doing not as many as I've been, so I'm kind of scheduling it as such because it was starting to interfere with my other activities and so on. And stopped it personally. So they can this one day, and that's basically all I have to do it. So.
And good because I do that because a lot of people have it 1 to 3. And sometimes I do it after 8 or 9 p.m. But I get them all in before 10. And that's I have to put schedule because it's just too much.
Yeah,
and it's crazy that you mentioned the pandemic because there's not more. And
I had personal sessions than I did before that. So 2019 I did have some, but not nearly as much as I did in 2020 and 21. So yeah. You can only go far and not kind of pace yourself doing this because this is energy at the end of the day. It's all about energy and working with it and trying to kick it through a device like the Ghost Box. So
that's good that you got these valuable customers, but
the nice thing about it is I've never charged it, but it's always been a free service. So that was been a real plus for those that have called in, and I know I've helped quite a few of them in very special ways. So. Again, I don't do this as a business or anything like that. So it's to do as a love of what I enjoy doing, and I'm trying to help people when I can. So, it's part of the paranormal, helping people. So when you go out on investigations, you're helping whoever, the homeowners or businesses of their personal matters with what they suspect.
Tess, do you want me
I totally agree. I'm gonna put it in the code so you get to add it. Because this is not for me. I'm still trying. But give me a second.
Do you want me to try to see if somebody else, my friends, can get through? Because I want to help you, but I can't do the stuff on your end. But maybe I can try to call to see if they get through. Because strangers are through and
can come through or do.
Well, I do happen, but I haven't tonight. The only reason is for.
I'm not Steve.
I see, if you want to put the air bit too off, because I'm trying to add in for some isn't working. I haven't been about 3 to go to our sex time, but they're crazy. I can retro seat, but I think it'd be energy going to
and there was this and there's people can see any number comes in as far as when Chris so I don't because Tessa can't even call that up. So maybe please call 970-335-9596 again 970 and for them to see if it goes up. As far as I'm coming up pressure for support. So it's with me.
That's any up.
They can call me.
You hear something? I'll to music. I'm gonna try to figure this shit out now. And I built this show. It lost different connections going on. So I'm saying, you guys gonna go for music. Husband says original filmmaker, but he also lives. Rodney Anthony Child. We have Kissing for Adage with Rosie. I'm great. Musical break.
So if you
Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you get cinnamon, cinnamon, do it softly. I say, why the eat the sweet body honey? Make it touch my lips, you loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me loose. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, all my guys they all the day all my guys they Komukeji, oh bere muketa, oyam komukeji, oya bere muketa, daddy mu ekon, omo ni komukeji, daddy bere muketa, omo fun lẹ́yìn, daddy fisi omo ni ejo, daddy saucy omo ni ejo, daddy sisi oni ejo, daddy him fisi omo ni ejo, daddy and his baby, them dey for corner, daddy give and the girl dey holla, daddy give open the collar, nice something come, daddy move ekon the muketa, I'm playing daddy fisi omo ni, your daddy saucy omo ni ejo, all men dey gbero. All my guys that they go Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Rosie. All my men that they go all my guys that they go Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Rosie. Suck my boots, you got my body loose. Anytime you touch me, you got me confused. Suck my boots, you got my body loose. Anytime you touch me, you got me confused. Cinnamon, do it softly. As you dey wine your body, eat the sweetie. Make it rock my body, I am feeling honey. Make it touch my body, I am feeling sweetie. Suck my boots, you got my body loose. Anytime you touch me, you got me confused. Suck my boots, you got my body loose. Anytime you touch me, you got me confused. Daddy, I'm money, ejo. Daddy, saucy, I'm money, ejo. Daddy, gossy, I'm money, ejo. Daddy, I'm money, ejo. Daddy, count that, I'm money, ejo. Daddy, comfort, daddy, consist. I'm money, ejo, daddy can't eat. Daddy 120, I'm money, ejo, daddy 18. Daddy 240, I'm money, ejo, daddy 360. Daddy and the baby, them there for corner. Daddy begin the touch and the girl the holla. Daddy begin the open the shell. I come to come, daddy begin the sucker. Daddy move, echo, I'm money, daddy bere muketa, I'm money for me lane. Daddy fisi, I'm money, ejo, daddy saucy, I'm money, ejo. All the day, all my guys, Imarama.
Oh yeah, it's funky on the beat.
Babylon make you suffer. Babylon make you suffer. What is that? Just your life. We're ready for my people. I don't know why my people live this life. I don't know why my people live this life. I don't know how to fight. Cause my people suffer. What do you want, Babylon? I don't understand why this world is so strange with my people. I don't know how to fight, but if we are together, it will work. It will work. Babylon no have no heart. 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 People, you have to survive. Yeah, you must be with you and make your own way. You must not give up. The beginning of what we start. We need to follow our true destiny. Whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know why people is life. I don't know why people is this. The obstacle is here. Babylon, the world is a good place, yeah. For our time, to take a thing, to don't really think, yeah, yeah. It's young life, oh, not dread. We must believe in a magical, powerful force that unites and not just these people. Yes, again, we don't want to talk. No, we don't do it. We stop it. Babylon make you suffer. Babylon make you suffer. Babylon make suffer. Babylon make suffer. Babylon make you suffer. What is it's your life? We are ready to fight.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining us tonight on this crazy heck. What the hell is going on here? We are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. We got Mr. Bill Hauser, aka Ken Dewey, and then we also have Psychic Chris Garcia, and then Mighty Man Christopher Wayne Fisher, and then hopefully we have Travis on, who we've been trying to get through this whole time. This is insane.
Oh, they just got on, Tessa.
Yay! Okay, I did it. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, you guys. This is insane.
See, all these months together produce something good.
Right? Well, welcome this, and thanks so much for calling in. Holy shnikey, sorry.
Hi, thanks. Long time listener, first time caller.
Nice. Well, welcome. Thank you so much.
Well, Travis, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It looks like I might be in some clear night to catch more loose videos.
Oh, some C5 or were you? Yeah, we're being touch here tonight with the whole system with both. I had a problem, but hopefully that callers can call in. So it's nice that you got in. It's great. So tell us a little about where you are up. I know you're in Northern Area. For our caller or our listeners, let our listeners know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm more of a terrestrial believer, and from the northern part of Canada. I'm probably about 4 hours away out of Edmonton, and I get a clear night of the sky. And yeah, I've been seeing a few little here and there, and other beautiful. The sky, I guess, is spectacular. So, yeah. Is there anything else I should say?
Well, I encourage you to do Z5. I told you a little bit about it, and then when you started doing it, you surprised me with some pretty interesting images there that you sent me there. And yeah, it was amazing. Your first night out, you actually got results, so that was really interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. We haven't had that solid of a week to do, like, the weather. That kind of
Yeah.
But one solid week of the CE5 sessions, I did actually, and part of it I videoed it in a good old fashioned there, and yeah, I wrote it all down, and yeah, I'm able to share some of the videos and pictures your way, and just have you kind of, your take on that. And
yeah, they're very impressive images, and yeah, you did it in such a way that you were very conscious of the space station and satellites and that, so you could kind of say that this was something else than those man-made objects in the sky that are quite common to see. So that was really good. That really caught my attention.
Oh yeah. The one video there, it was totally. It was like just the sunset. There was no other stars in the sky than in the moon. We could see there, and yeah, that orb by, and then after we saw with that one video. So I was kind of interested there. I did a little off and continued on toward the east. But yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah, the important thing is you saw it visually with your eye, and then were able to basically lock in your camera to take pictures. So that was really cool that you were able to capture those images there of these orb-like phenomena, shall we say, up in the sky.
Oh yeah, no, it was a beautiful thing. It was such a beautiful feeling as well. It wasn't like there was no sensation of any fear or anything like that. It was more like a calm, like a kind of like an amusement or astonishment, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, it kind of takes your breath away. To see stuff like that. First time for you, anyway. So, yeah, it was quite. And you had a great story you told me about your uncle.
Right.
That was good. It would be great if Travis, the audience.
Yeah, sure. I'm mentioning that. So, he was my uncle Russell. He was a well-known healer and also a hunter-trapper of the area, Leicester there. And so this one early morning, he was with our community here. Otherwise, they were camping, and it was a clean morning, and they were just, oh, sorry, and his other friend there, Daryl was there as well, and they're all sleeping in their own tent, and it was probably 4 in the morning, and all of a sudden this water just came down on so great the tent, and they all go. They saw somebody look around, they were trapped around, nobody ran away. Like somebody saying, it didn't rain, there was no rain clouds, so it came down like water was just poured on. So he figured that the shit was coming out of the lake. They were near the lake. It came out of the lake and out of the turn. And so there might be some connection to this lake and the terrestrials.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Possibly maybe an underground base under the lake there. You went out the very first time and caught something new. So it was interesting your first time going out and E5 that I told, and that was very cool. You
for all that time too. Like the first time I seen it was at 1:40 in the morning, and then the second time at 11:40 something. Not 11:40. It was like 11:50 or 11:30, something around that time. But I have all the times written out, and like I said, it's all well documented, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, because I mentioned to you to kind of keep track of what and time and everything. So that's good. Oh, that's interesting. You should tell the story of when I did a Ghost Box session with your cousin, I believe, Ethan, back in 2016, and
Right.
we were getting some very interesting results that time. That was a little while ago that happened. So yeah, it was amazing. The stuff was coming through Ghost Box when we did personal face.
Yeah, so it was really interesting because, all right, so out there in BC, there's different native cultures across Canada, and it's interesting that on his blog there was actually Neo treating, which are people of Fort Russian, and I was able to understand some of the language that come through and how our songs, our ancestors are through.
Wow.
Really, so Ethan, he wanted the old military type. He wanted to use an army there. Well, soldiers like you shot. I was a medic, or any the tactics of these soldiers coming through was really, as I said, that doesn't for but it's quite interesting again.
Yeah, again, that I like the Cree language. It's very common language here in the Lower Mainland, like what they say. Yes, there are some creepy. You don't hear it on the radio, so it would be hard to see that as just remnants of broadcast radio on my Ghost Box. So, yeah, it reminds me of was the piece I down in the Mindanao area island. I picked up some native language down there, a sign language. It's very common in that part of the Philippines. So. They don't speak that much outside that one time there, so yeah, in Manila you don't hear it very often, but anyway, it came through and so on. So I kind of think back when I did the session with you, how you get these rare native languages coming through that are very, very unique, interesting, and where you can understand what they're saying and so on, and the credence of the voices and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It was like definitely, easy to pick out easy to decipher that out of the radio. Like it's hard to get that old school power drum, and just the way the chanting was, like it was insane. Like I was like, whoa, that's like another level of language I never heard.
Yeah, it was more than just, say, remnants of broadcast radio or a music channel or something when it was flipping through the dials there, the Ghost Box. So, it's something that he could recognize there. So, it was an amazing session back in 2016. I enjoyed that very much. It was amazing, what was coming through that night. And then, of course, Ethan with his family members and that were involved in wartime commitments and wartime efforts there, and some of the stuff that they experienced.
Yeah, no, it was wild. It was another. It was like a new way of experiencing, because everybody, I'm not sure, I know you have a unique set of listeners, and I'm sure they've had their experiences or come across or heard the term of a medium, and we've I've seen mediums, and I've talked with some healers about spirituality, and that was like the first time I ever went through or I ever did a Ghost Box session through electronic medium. That was quite the experience, and like I said, it was the first for me there too that time. So that was
really amazing. Yeah. Through, I bet your mind was blown. You're like, hey man, this is insane. Can't be real. Bill set me up. Bill, you crazy bastard. No, but it's so awesome when that happens, and you have, I want to say affirmation, but things are pretty correct. Like, you have things coming through that sometimes you wouldn't even imagine. Do you guys in your tribe also have like kachimbos and stuff, as far as like aliens or star seeds or whatnot going on?
Yeah. No, we have the star, and that's
oh nice.
That's what we believe in that, and that's a big part of our they're healers in our teachings.
That's very cool. Could you kind of listen a little bit on that? What exactly? When did they show up? What exactly happened? Are they still doing it today? Or they just expand knowledge?
Yeah, no, they still, people still do, when we do our ceremonies, people will have offerings for the Star Nation, and some people will see them come down in the night, lights come down and pick up those offerings and leave. But, it's all like, they've always been part of our culture, and, it's never been like I said, it's always been a connection there with the healing in terms of nature, working with nature and plants and connection with Earth.
That's so awesome. Somebody was talking to me the other day, and they're saying, if you want to talk to any tribe, and if you talk to them about star seeds or star children or star people, they will not hesitate to talk to you about it like they would as far as skinwalkers, ghosts, so on and so forth. Like, they'll definitely talk to you about this stuff because I guess it's more positive than the other things they're having, but it's pretty intriguing just to find the glyphs and stuff on the rocks. It's amazing.
Right. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely there. It's or in the earth there, all those diamonds you see are chips and stuff, stars.
It's amazing. Even like Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just about to say a lot of representation in the artwork.
Yeah, and also the way they built their structures. If they did like rock structures or whatnot, they'd have certain facing certain stars and such, and it's just very intriguing.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I actually sent some pictures about my UFO, most recent UFO experience, and that was on the 26th of May. And we went ghost hunting, and we actually saw a UFO. So I don't know if you've seen them yet or not, Bill, but I put them there in the Skype chat. But we actually saw a saucer. It started off small and got closer, it got bigger, and there were so many different colors going on in it, and it was a dance, so it was cut to the side at right angle. and then it just appeared. It reminded me of recently watched the Bob Zarth, and he's right when they're about to take off into whatever state they've prepared for themselves, they'll go to the side and then they'll all of a sudden just blink away. But yeah, I wasn't scared till my friend were like, it's coming right at us, looking up, waiting for the light to come on. But it was amazing. Like, my mind is still blown over seeing that. It's so cool. Not only did I see it, but she saw it, but we got pictures. For some reason, my video wouldn't pick it up. I wish I would have had my night vision camera on me, but it was on the cart. But it was awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing there, Tess. Well, you're in Four Corners there in Colorado with all the other states going on the borders, so that area is all known for a lot of supernatural encounters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
all 4 nations, or 7 nations, sorry.
yeah, well known for a lot of history and stuff, and even around Tessa's there, you've had a lot of history with, I believe battles and stuff that took place near where you live, if I'm correct.
Yeah, on my property. And once I discovered that, I was, well, that makes a lot of sense.
All the strangeness that you've picked up there and
Yeah, for
witnessed
sure.
and stuff. Yeah. Well, it is amazing when you see all these strange things, and then you look at the history and that, especially with, ghosts, shall we say, and that, and then look at the history and that, and it just starts making a lot of sense. Their spirits are still around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's like a spirit. It's like a little how should I say it? Like your spirit leaves a little imprint on the stuff you interact with. It's a little bit interesting, but yeah, watching Bill, like, and then like for the battle to happen there, there's still that I guess that energy that was just like the imprint there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you're somewhat sensitive, you pick up on it right away, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So what are
Yeah, it's like,
ahead.
sorry. I was about to say, Vancouver is well known for a lot of strange paranormal activity and UFO and all kinds of cryptids and so on. So yeah, it's kind of like its own little world over there. We go over on the ferry over that area, so there's some real hot spots around the island there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Tess, if you live in Colorado, what area would it be Bigfoot? Would it be in your area, or further in what area?
It's more the, holy shit, let me see, northwest and north, more in the wooded areas. I have heard things like in the desert, but mostly it's in wooded areas. I wouldn't be surprised even if it's in but we haven't had an experience yet there. But when we went up to Colorado, not only for investigation, for a security gig that we were doing at a old abandoned mine, we had an encounter with the big up there. It was throwing boulders down. It was very irritated that we were there, and then I went up later to do investigation at the Enterprise Bar and Grill, and so we did our investigation, and they're like, what do you want to do tomorrow? And I want to go to the mine, see if I can find any evidence, any Bigfoot tracks, anything like that. And so we went up and did that, and I found tracks, and I took pictures of it. Gravels, kind of see. I put little rocks at the heel, one at the big toe, to kind of show the mark, and then click closer or do some sort of color change or something to it. I wish I would have had some sort of, a batter or something to put in there to make a cast. But then went down to have lunch. We were talking about it, and there was a mom and daughter there, and they go out on their back porch every morning. They have coffee. It's kind of, their daily ritual that they do, and they're sitting there drinking coffee, and in this opening between some pine trees and aspen trees, they see not only a Bigfoot, a white Bigfoot, and it was a very large area, but it took it very few steps to get across it because it was so big. So I think this is an older male that was picked out of the, so the younger ones take over, and they keep trouble there, and then the Bigfoot, the older, the other side of the valley, is his own thing, kind of. But yeah, it's not the only time he's been spotted, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
And so do you.
Yeah, I want to go, up there maybe to visit you. And how far is that from your house, like where you live?
It's about an hour and a half, maybe, but it's so worth it. And we're invited back to Enterprise Bar and Grill. Even the mayor of the town's like, here, you have to all these keys. When you guys come back, then you can go to the all these other things.
Wow. Interesting.
I'll send you guys a picture from Silverton Road that goes between Silverton and Durango, and you've got a picture of Bigfoot off of that drain, so I'll send that to us really quick too. There are spottings around here, but they're few and far between because we still have a lot of forest up here.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. I'll be by that because, I'm like, you know what? I noticed that the most is Colorado, Ohio, Oregon, where there's a lot of trees. But I've never encountered, but people have had known to have this weird smell, like a skunk, but it smells real bad. Maybe just encounter. I would pick up on, but I don't know how I would react to feeling nauseating because some people get very nauseated. So that just makes me wonder, being intuitive, I'm sure he would let I'm coming because a lot of people have kind of them to UFOs. People have seen the UFO and they not. They saw Bigfoot right, after the kickoff. So it's very hard to figure out where they're coming from because there's even some that they've even coped where they blend in with nature, or they'll just disappear. So that kind of just, I don't know. I mean, we're always trying to debunk things, but the psychic, it's a little bit scary. That I can picture because you never ever touch on nature or seen on different distance. And real close up is kind of interesting. Thanks for letting me know, because I've always wanted to go up there. I would love to go there. And we got
so if it's a stories people around people talk about them. They might have seen when they were 4x4ing on an old road or whatever. Yeah, easy one.
What areas we live are more seafood? Is it more wood or a wood area where you might catch one? Yes.
Well, I live in the metro Vancouver area, but you just go over the mountains there. What you see there, it's all pure wilderness. So, yeah, once you get up past, around Heron Hot Springs and that area, you get off on the roads in the forest area. Yeah, people have seen them.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I can go see y'all guys.
Yeah.
Walk through it and see what I can pick up because.
Yeah, there's some clubs here. What do you call Sasquatch clubs and that go on a regular basis, and they do what they can, film them and record them. So, and get their voices. I hear a lot of them yelling, screaming. So, you get audio sounds, vocalization. So that's quite amazing.
Wow, I'm very intrigued by that for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And it's funny as part of it. I'm getting lightheaded, and so that kind of just meaning that the energy's something. But
could be that water, man.
I'm
trying to see some.
But yeah, it's very intriguing. And what's weird too? I've never heard of any people picking up mermaids, but people always said mermaids. That's another subject too that people always say. There's something in the water, but to go that deep, I don't even think we even with a tank, with all the shit that we have, I don't think we can even go that deep. They would not see it. That would make history. If somebody saw a mermaid now, they would have history.
Well, I had a question for Miss Trass.
Oh, yeah. How's it going?
Both the Dene tribe and the Ute tribe down here, and there are skinwalkers. I was wondering, is there anything like that within your tribe or around your guys' area?
Alright, okay. Alright, so my grandfather, his name was Headman Mustis, and he killed the last one in the area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Alright, so we don't call them skinwalkers. They're different from, they're called the Weekoos.
Okay.
And so this one was in our area, and it took 6 medicine men to capture this one, because it had to be 6 medicine men. It couldn't be just brave, because if a brave 5 of your top brave warriors, it seems that they'd have to stop. The ears would just pop, bleed out. They'd be stuck paralyzed in place. He would walk up and knock their head off.
Wow.
And so they had to send these men with these less weapons and to capture it. So they used giant bear hide, buffalo hide. Had this net, so one of them had to capture it. And it was Moses. He grabbed it and roped it up, and they brought it back to the camp. And they had to get their own. Had it tied to the roll. And what ended up happening was they had the ceremony, and the headman was there, and the one old elder said, "Right, this Weegu was made by an evil spirit," and he was sent for one of these medicine men. And then at that moment, he started throwing up icicles in the ground. And said, whoever grabs these icicles and who it melts for, it was sent for. You have to kill it. So Mustis grabbed an icicle, and all the other medicine men grabbed the other icicles, and it didn't melt for them, but Mustis, it melted for him. So he took his axe and he cut off its head.
Oh,
and
wow.
After that, it was bigger. But thank you for letting me share that.
That's an amazing story.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That is
That
weird.
story's been within my family for many generations now. So I'm happy I was able to share that. Kind of getting a little emotional.
Oh. it is an honor to be able to do that and to help your tribe in such a way. It's really an amazing experience. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's I'm just kind of like visualizing what it would look like, kind of. It's just an amazing story. It's just thank you very much, Travis, for sharing that story.
No problem. Thank you guys for listening. Hi. I appreciate that.
It's awesome.
Oh.
I'm so glad we got in.
I know, because I mean, like I said, I'm getting everybody to
Yeah.
call and they're like, I don't know what they're going on. I just think it's a little bit of
Yeah.
number of
Well,
things.
you know, since we got Travis here, why don't we do a Ghost Box session? Would you like be part of the Ghost Box session, Travis?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you have anybody in particular you'd like me to contact, or we just sort of generally go through freestyle and whatever comes through?
Sure, whatever comes through at this moment.
Okay.
Something or hear something, I'll make mention of it. But then I'm just a long ride. How about that?
Okay, sounds good. Who would like to talk to us? Would you have a message for any of us? We're on a radio show.
We're doing tonight.
Tell us something. If you have a message for us, yeah, let us know, okay? How many active spirits around the area right now? Yeah. So do you have a message? What message do you have? I think I could get it in. Also get it in. Have something you'd like to tell us? A message, maybe? Who's this? Who was there that would like to... Anybody around this area where I live in the past might know me?